Hi, ELMYO Cellos. Welcome to your next week of videos. So last week I gave you a video of scales and a video of the first part. It was from measure 1 through I think 109 of Coco. So this week I'd like to continue on with Coco. So this video will be labeled Coco Part 2, measure 109 to the end. And this is a good place to start when you want to go over Coco. I know we're not quite sure what's going to be happening, but I think we should at least kind of keep it in our fingers until we have a very clear idea of the rest of the year. One thing before we start, I'm giving videos to my ELMYO cellos, but I'm also reaching out to start doing Zoom or FaceTime lessons with you guys. I'll start making sure you have solo repertoire to be practicing more than just your ELM orchestra music. So I've been texting with many of you. I think I've texted everybody. I'm still waiting on a couple to return my text messages, but they're going to be short 30 to 40 minute weekly check-ins. Play some scales, ask me some questions, assign new repertoire, things like that. Really low key, not a big deal, just a way to kind of communicate. They're not easy. The lessons aren't easy to do on FaceTime. It's hard for me to really hear perfectly, but it's better than nothing right now. And we're going to get better and better at it and figure out a way to really continue with our music training, even though we're not at ELM right now. So if you don't already have it out, please take out Coco, measure 109 to the end. And if you have your music like I do in a binder, you're going to want to have both sheets out so you can see them both. Also, always make sure you have a pencil, which I don't, but I won't be writing notes for myself. Okay, so just gonna go through this very slowly with you. You can play with me. I'll have you pause things. You can rewind it, however you want to do it, okay? And now that you all have my phone numbers, you can just text me if you have a question or if you want me to explain something more in another video, or if you want me to explain something in a Zoom lesson, okay? All right, you guys, we're going to start at measure 109. We have barely gone over this part, but it's pretty simple to read, okay? So I'm going to count to 3, and we're just going to start at the beginning. I'll play it for you, or if you want to play with me, that's fine. This is 109. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so a couple things about playing that one passage is pretty simple, but one thing I'm going to point out to you is in measure 109 and 110 and 111, you have quarter, half note, quarter, half note. Even if they're eighths, they're slurred eighths. Eighth, eighth, half note. So make sure you're using a fuller bow like this. Long, otherwise, if you don't, you'll have no room for your half note and it'll look like this. You see my problem? Okay, so that's your first thing. So if you want to pause the video and practice that one section thinking only about your bow distribution. Okay, let's continue. Measure 117, okay? We already finished the other section. So I will play about the next 8 measures for you. Just go ahead and listen. 1, 2, 3. Say go. Okay, so I think there's nothing difficult about this section. Just keep in a couple things that you have some finger hops, some rolling fingers, like for instance in measure 118, look there with me, making sure you're rolling those fingers from the C to the F, so it's pretty smooth. Just so work on your bow string crossings there. The sound we want to be really smooth. And then one other thing, pay attention to your dynamics. At 117, it's mezzo forte. And then at measure 17, 18, 19, 20, at measure 120, it's mezzo piano. Okay, and then there's a big crescendo in there too. Okay, good. If you want to, pause the video and practice that part. Okay, we're back. The other thing you might want to do when you're pausing the videos is put the first section with the second section. So you're not just practicing teeny parts, but after you practice each part, you put them together, okay? Good. We are going to now tackle measure 125 through 129. I want to make sure everybody has the correct fingerings in their part. In measure 126, you should have open A, a 0, so we'll use open A, and then on your C, in measure 126, your C should have a first finger, and then in measure 127, on your E, you should have an extension to a fourth finger. And then again, to the C in 127, you should have backwards extension to the C, okay? So once again, measure 126, it's open A. I'll just play it for you so you show it. Open A, first finger on C, extension, extension, and then you'll extend to this, the D, 2, 3, and then the G. Okay, so we'll go over that right now, but if you don't have those fingerings, write them in. All right, now I'm gonna play for you measure 125 through 129, okay? 1, 2, 3. Okay, a couple things about that before you practice it. When you get to 126, suddenly our rhythm is a little different. We're playing dotted quarter notes, and those you can kind of feel like triangles. Triangle, 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 1, 2, 3. So why don't you play this passage with me once and think just about your rhythm right now. Maybe clap it even right. Let's clap it together at measure 125. 1, 2, 3. Triangle, 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 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so we have those triangles there. Now, let's just play. Let's get our hand set up for 126. So move your hand into extended second position. Your first finger is on C, and you're all extended here, okay? Remember, your thumb is under 2, and your second finger is on your D, okay? So you're in extended second position, okay? So let's try this. 1, 2, 3. Triangle, triangle, extension, triangle, extension, angle, now D, and then hop over to G, then back to A. Okay, if you want to pause the video, one thing though, I'm kind of backwards with my bowing. You should actually be starting an up bow at measure 126. So if you could fix that and ignore the bowing that I just did. Go ahead and pause and work on that. Okay, we're back. Just because I want to make sure we really got this, let's go together from measure 125. Sometimes maybe even earphones for this kind of stuff might be easier too. I used to do that when I was listening and playing along, like an earphone, I'd put one earphone in and one earphone out. That's another helpful way of doing it. Anyway, let's try 125 together, okay? Make sure you do your shift, your extension shift, and think about your triangles, okay? Here's 125, and I think we can go all the way to 138 right now, okay? 125. 1, 2, 3. Let's try that again. 1, 2, 3. Shift first position. 2, 3. all pretty self-explanatory, but I think you should probably pause the video and practice that for a good couple times because we didn't really do much of that in class. Okay, we are now at measure 138, and the tempo is marked faster, which we will definitely be faster if we are able to play this for a concert. But if we're not, right now I think we should play it slower because we're still not there yet, okay? So this is measure 138. I just want to remind you mostly about your bow distribution. With this stuff, there's a lot of what I call lightning bows, save, short save, tons of those that I'm going to point out to you right now, okay? So if you want to listen to me first, I'll play from measure 138, probably about till 152, okay? 1, 2, 3. Circle. Rest. Short. 2, 3. Lightning. 2, 3. Circle. Lightning. Say 2, 3. Okay, I went a little further. So if you need to, you can rewind that, play it again for yourself if you need to. But let's work through that slowly right now, okay? Our lightning bows, another thing we learned in a previous section is calling them cherry pie. It's just sort of a nice little reminder to say for those bowings. Okay, a couple things. Be careful where it's marked tenuto versus staccato. This is specifically in measure 139, okay? Smooth. You hear that? Smooth. Short. And one more thing about that, specifically in measure 140, that B, your eighth note B, which is in the first beat of that measure, that needs to be the accent of that measure. Not actually accented, but the weight of that measure is bada, not bada. It's bada. So listen very carefully and then pause it and do it. 1, 2, 3. 2. Do you hear how I did that? Go ahead and pause that. Pause and practice that. Okay, so now we're gonna start working from pickup to 143. So find 143 and then go back to the 2 eighth notes before there, and it's a pickup, okay? So I'm gonna play it, and specifically here, this is where you need to really pay attention to your measure numbers, okay? Because we have to do a lot of counting. So measure 4, 5, 6, 146 might even be a good place for you to mark that as 146 because we'll talk about that a lot. In measure 146, you're going to save your bow, but you're not going to retake your bow. Okay, I'm going to play that for you. Okay, 1, 2, 3. 2, stop. Did you see how I didn't actually retake my bow? I just stopped my bow. One more time from there. This is 146. 1, 2, 3. 2, stop. Do you see how I arranged my bowing there? Now, let's put that, if you want to stop and just practice that one part, great, just stop me right now. But if you don't want to stop, let's play together from measure pickup to 143, specifically thinking about that slowing our bow but not retaking our bow. Okay, this is pickup to 143. 1, 2, 1, 2. Save. 2, save. Save. 2, 3, 1. Now we retake here. Okay, so if you want to pause, think about those sections. We've really practiced this before. So this isn't new stuff to you guys, okay? We've done it and you know how to do this, but you need to think really hard right now. Make sure you keep it in your bow. Okay, so the difference between measure 146 and 151 is that the first time in 146, we do not retake our bow. We just save our bow and we continue on. In 151, we definitely do a big circle retake, okay? All right, let's play 152, but this is pretty much the same exact stuff. We have a couple different notes, but it's the same bowing issues, okay? Let's start at pick up to measure 152. 1, 2. Stop. 2, 3, circle set. Okay, so in that section, I pointed out some of the places where I said cherry pie. So if you don't have the cherry pie written, and with the cherry pies come the lightning bow, right? Cherry pie or cherry pie, okay? That happened a couple times. It's the same thing. In measure 3, 4, 5, 155, look there. It's the same as 146. We're not going to retake our bow, okay? But in measure 160, it's the exact same as 151. We will retake our bow, okay? I think that's all we need to know about this section. I think you can go ahead and pause and work through this on your own. Okay, pause it. Okay, we're back. Getting into 168. This is where I had you practice so slowly. This is measure 167. Shift. Just that half step shift. Do not extend yet. Practice the shift and then the extension. We talked about this. You need to practice it right now, like this. Shift. That's it. Practice that 15 times, 25 times until you cannot do it incorrectly. And once you do that, you can add it. Shift. Oh, it was a little out of tune, but that's okay. I'll fix it. All right. So that's how I want you to practice that. Just practice getting into it. Okay? You can pause and practice. Okay, so now that we've practiced getting into 168, we need to practice 168. So practice starting with your hand in extended second position. Your first finger's on C, but remember your thumb is under 2, which is on the D, and your E, your fourth finger's on E, and you're really actually in second position, but your hand's extended from that position, okay? Not this way, rather this way, okay? Okay, we have gone through this. I think there's nothing else to do but just to play it very slowly with me. And I'll point out some areas to think about, okay? 168. 1, 2, 3. Opening, shift, and shift. Okay, let's stop there. You can do some preliminary practice right now if you want to. If it just really wasn't good, pause and practice. But if it was okay, let's talk about a couple things in there. Rhythm. You have to notice measure 169 and 173. Okay? Those two places, one is eighth and then a dotted quarter, and the other is reverse, dotted quarter and an eighth. And remember 173, I like saying cherry pie there. I think that will really help you. Notice where we're shifting, okay? Don't make a mistake, don't shift early. Let's try this one more time, specifically thinking about those few things, okay? Let's get our hands set up into second position, however you like, okay? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Half note shift. Shift. Stay focused to stop. Okay. Great. You can pause it if you want to just go over that section a little bit more, but if not, let's continue talking about it right now. Okay, a couple things. Measure 175. Look there with me. You have to save your bow. That's another one of those same situations where we're not going to retake our bow. We're just going to save our bow, stop our bow, and then continue right there with the rest of the bowings, okay? So let's just, let's do from measure 174 right now. I think that's a good place to do this. Okay, 174, find that. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, stop. Okay, that section right there is a little challenging, okay, but you might just listen to me do it a couple more times. All right, pause the video, practice that part, or let's continue. Measure 181 the first time. We talked about this. When you play, when you go into the first ending, you have to use a lot of bow to go in the upper half of the bow. Okay, we talked about that. You should have that, and I'm just reminding you, let me demonstrate. This is measure 181 into the first ending. 1, 2, 3. Okay, you saw that I used a lot of bow and I got all the way into my upper half. Now, pause it, practice that. Let's do 181 going into the second ending. This is where I'm not going to spend all my bow and get in the upper half. In fact, I'm going to save my bow and stay in the lower half. I will demonstrate. 181. 1, 2, 3. I did not demonstrate that properly. Let me try it one more time and actually look at my music. 1, 2, 3. Up, up, 2. Okay. I think this is enough to get us going for right now. I hope this is helpful. It's very specific still. And I think in the next few weeks, I'll start putting out videos to help us just get a bigger, rounder feel for this. But yeah, let's use these videos to practice our Coco. I don't think we need to focus on it as much in our private lessons. I think we can do some solo stuff. And I think this is better for this since we spent so much time on it already, okay? All right, you guys, I will see each one of you later this week. Bye.